Hello everyone, and welcome to my build guide. It's about, in my opinion, a pretty underrated marksman build in terms of popularity, probably because I don't see too many players playing this build at the moment. But I would say it is S tier. As Lizard's Bow Mage, they're both really strong and probably the best marksman builds out there at the moment. It's a pure cold Hail of Arrows build created by Tunk. So shout out to Tunk and thank you for letting me do this build and for all the advices. There's already a build guide out there on HoA, I think, from Dread, from Apprentice Corner. It's 8 or 9 months ago, so I just wanted to give you an update or show you some live footage of this build, because I think this build definitely deserves a little bit more attention. Like the meta for Marksman is Bow Mage. The Bow Mage is absolutely amazing, but I think this one is just up there, how powerful it is. So pros and cons. It is probably the best arena pusher for marksman. I did a where is it? 345 push yesterday. Don't look too much into the rank. It's just the beginning of a new patch on SSF with pretty mediocre gear, nothing too special. I saw Tunk also pushing it on 504, so he was going nuts with this build again. Probably he has like best in slot gear, and I don't know if he already has legendary gear, but I will show you my gear, which is pretty easy to get. But first, let me show you some arena gameplay, that you can see all the mechanics. I like to call it Shadow HoA because it's basically all around the shadow mechanic, and it's pretty much the only marksman build that I know where you utilize shadows. Damage is pretty insane. The Hail of Arrows duration is around 10 seconds, and basically what you do is just kite around and pull all the enemies inside. I'm just playing a little bit slower so that you can see what I do here. Normally you have to put smoke bomb out immediately, go over a black arrow or shift on top of it, and just kite the whole time. You just have to move all the time. Dark Quiver. Try to find a good point where every monster can go in. Try to pull them. The AI is really stupid here. Okay, they're too slow. You can use Decoy. Like, Decoy you can use in around 300. Not that early, it's not that important, so basically those are the skills that you use in Decoy just whenever you don't feel comfortable anymore. Yeah, pretty unique playstyle. I absolutely love it. I really fell in love with this build, and it's also my main character right now. So let me show you maybe the mechanics first before I go over the skills, the gear, and all the passives. If I cast Hail of Arrows without any of the other skills, then you can see some dot ticks here. So there's no hit. Everything base is dot over here. If I use shift and then shoot, damage is a little bit higher. But if I use smoke bomb to create the shadows, shift on top of a black arrow, and then go, then the damage is going a little bit higher. And yeah, this is where the big damage is coming from. So it's basically this node that gives 100% more damage when you consume 3 shadows, together with this more multiplier from Coated Blades, and a long duration of Hail of Arrows. Those are pretty much the nodes that make this build pretty strong in terms of damage, and the rest is just pure defense. Like the whole gear is all around defenses. And yes. So smoke bomb, you can see that you create shadows each second. You can make this a little bit faster. This is really important for arena, so every second counts basically there. So 1, 2, and then the third one I bring with shift. If you use this node, so you can have 3 shadows out a little bit faster. What I like to do is I shift on top of a black arrow like this, so I can immediately shoot Hail of Arrows, and then the damage is there. If you don't do it correctly, the whole rotation, then you pretty much fuck up the whole damage here, and you have to wait, and this can cause your death. So you have to really play it good. It's not really beginner friendly. It's easy to adjust, but really hard to master. But this is exactly what I like. The whole playstyle. To think a little bit more, to kite around, don't stutter step the whole time, don't stand still the whole time. Really unique build, and I absolutely love it. Okay, let's look over all the skills. So Hail of Arrows, we want as much duration as possible. So 4 points here, 5 points here. This is like our big damage boost here. So basically after 4-second duration we get the full damage potential, 80% more. This node is important to get more duration. We only have one active Hail of Arrow, so if I shoot again, this one is gone, this one is here. We're going for cold. It's pretty good because we get the chill chance, and since we cannot hit, we cannot apply frailty, slow, and chill, but at least here we get the chill chance. This one is really important to get as much area as possible. It's our only skill, so the bigger the area, the easier it is for us to pull all the enemies inside. If they're on this side, you can just walk around, they just follow you and walk in. All the other points into just pure damage. This one is, I mean, you can do it, but you will reduce the AoE, which is not that good, so just put the points in here. For shift, I use those nodes over here for the extra damage. Now it is increased. When Row came out, it was a more multiplier, so it was even more powerful. 3 points for mana, 3 points for the movement speed, 1 point basically the classic shift tree. And this one is really important, like I said. So you can shoot HoA after 2 seconds, not after 3. Because you have 1, 2, 3 immediately, and then you can cast it. Smoke Bomb is important to have a 100% shadow chance cast, so each second there will be a shadow for you. You go 5 points in here for the duration. The duration is good, of course, also for the Dusk Shrouds that you can get. You want also 1 point in here to abuse the Silver Shroud mechanic. Silver Shroud is basically one free dodge. We use a second free dodge on the Marksman tree, so this will also keep you alive in Arena or in general in Monolith. Then finally a build with Dark Quiver. It's one of my favorite skills. I know that not everyone likes it because some of the other nodes are not really good, but for Ballista and especially HoA, it's pretty much the best support skill. 4 points for the flat damage, 4 points for the multiplier. This one, like I said, is the most important node for the whole build. 100% more damage with 3 shadows. 1 point here, 5 point in here for the Dust Shrouds. You can also go here, leave this out and go a little bit more damage, but I like to have more defenses. The rest, this is like the go-to, this is like the go-to. You can also go like here for the healing amount per dex, because we also scale a little bit of dex, but the rest is pretty much straightforward. Decoy, I don't use it that often. Maybe in Arena when there's like a scary moment, I don't know, I Decoy, run away. I have like the 3-second haste duration just to be safe, and I have an additional charge, but sometimes I even forget it and then I die, so yeah, you don't really need Decoy. But if you use it, 3 points in here for mana, 3 points for the frailty. I have 3 points in here just to get a little bit of haste duration, additional charge, 5 points for the duration, and then here a little bit of touch. Passives. Rogue. We don't scale attack speed and crit, which I really like. This is a really cool mechanic so that you don't have to focus around attack speed and crit. We go 8 points into here for dex and health. Dex is really good for, of course, damage and dodge, what we like to scale. I have 6 points in here just to get poison resistance. So you don't need that much if you have different gear. You can only leave it at 1. This one is really, really, really important. 5 points in here for minus 25% damage taken while moving. So you always want to hold left click for moving. Always. This is like the good thing about this build. For Marksman build, normally Marksmans are really squishy, but here you get like a 25% perma less damage taken while moving. And the only time basically when you cast it, then you don't move. Here you don't move, here you don't move. So you have to be really careful where you cast those skills. So always make sure to be away from enemies when you do this. 5 points in here for the damage for increased movement speed. We also scale a lot of movement speed. Then 1 point here. We don't have any mana generators, it's just Hail of Arrows. And this one, like I said, is really important. 8 points for 80% more damage. It also adds 40 flat mana cost. Skill cost 60, so this one right now is at 100 mana cost. You don't need that much mana. You can also run around with like 150 to 200 mana. It's completely fine. I just wanted to play a little bit more safe. If I mess something up, that I have like a free Hail of Arrows that I can immediately cast again. And 5 points in here for dodge rating and glancing blow chance. Also 8 points in here for the 16% glancing blow chance. We also get dexterity here. Then we come to 31% glancing blow chance. Right now I have 42 dodge, so if I use everything correctly, I'm around 96 glancing blow, dodge. It's pretty high. So yeah, you have pretty good numbers over here. For Marksman, 1 point in here, 4 points in here. To get to the elemental arrows. Elemental arrows are also really important to get more damage. 3 points in here to get more elemental arrows. So every time when you move, you basically get your elemental arrows back. When you shoot, I consume 3 because of this node here. And the more arrows you consume, the more flat damage you will get for your next HoA cast. So this is also a good way to basically get a damage multiplier. And everything here, sort of fire and lightning, is getting converted into cold, which makes it pretty easy. 1 point here, 8 points here for the dodge, 5 points here for the dodge and movement speed, 1 point here, 5 points for the crit avoidance. I was a little bit unlucky. I found this one at 64%, so right now I'm sitting at 99. The good thing is I never died because of a crit, so yeah, make sure that you have 100%. I think with 99 I can leave it there. I hope nothing will happen, but otherwise you go with a crit avoidance somewhere on the ring. Then I just talk about the rest points later because I'm only at level 97 at the moment. 10 points here for flat health and bow damage leech. The leech is actually pretty good with this build, and it works with the dot because it's still bow damage for HoA, even though it's a dot damage. 1 point here, 1 point here to abuse, like I said before, another Silver Shroud mechanic for 2 free dodge. And 10 points here for the increased mana regen. This one is really important to sustain the mana. I only have 1 mana regen here, 1 mana regen here. This is pretty much all you need to sustain the whole build. So it's not that difficult. And 2 points here for more AoE. As I said, the more AoE you have, the easier it is to pull all the enemies in. Maybe some other points what you can do. You could put some points into here for more health. You could put some points into here for more damage and reduce damage taken over time. What else you can do? This is pretty much it. I mean, you cannot use crit or this one here because you cannot hit. So yeah, pretty straightforward tree. And for gear, this is what it looks right at the moment. I don't have any legendaries yet. You don't need legendaries. I mean, I will still farm for it and I will keep you updated. But this is how it looks. I go for Reign of Winter. If you don't have this bow yet, then just go for a regular longbow. The only thing that you need is basically a tier 10. So flat damage physical, flat damage fire on the bow. There's no suffix that is really helpful on this build. So this is really easy to craft until you get this bow from the Age of Winter timeline. It's over here at the boss, 50% drop rate, I guess. And once you have this bow, then your damage is pretty good. We just take it for the bow cold damage, the cold penetration, and the attunement. Attunement is good to get a little bit more mana. And we don't do anything with the icicles because we cannot hit. The rest, I will just go over it a little bit quicker. Halo of Arrows duration, like I said, is really important. The more duration, yeah, the easier it is to manage the mana cost, and the longer is basically the high damage roll from here. Cooldown recovery is really good to have Smoke Bomb a little bit earlier. Here you can get the plus to Hail of Arrows, increased health or dodge. You will have to see what's better for you. I like to go health here, but you can also go increased dodge rating, health here, and the ailment. Then we go here. This one is really bad. You will see it's not like a perfect gear. We use this quiver because it's like the most defensive quiver you can get. There's nothing else we can basically add there, so it's easier for us to cap our resistances. Just make sure to get flat damage. Like I said, it's 300% effectiveness. Like the movement speed rings, yeah, just to be a little bit quicker for Marksman. It's always good to have yeah, high movement speed. Try to get the dodge base equipment here. So dodge here, dodge here, dodge here. The best in slot here would be the endurance to cap it. I just went for this one to cap my void resistance. So yeah, you can mix a little bit around here to get good endurance, to get good resistances. But it's relatively easy to get this gear. Nothing too special, like I said. For idols, try to get the increased duration of hail of arrows with something like increased damage while wielding a bow. I just not have it here because I needed the elemental resistances to keep it up, and the rest is just health and resistances, like pretty straightforward. For legendary gear, if you're interested, I would recommend a 2 potential Rain of Winter to get 2 flat damage, so basically the flat physical bow, the flat fire bow. Here I could recommend the Arrow Guard Quiver, which gives you Glancing Blow, so you have a better chance to reach 100%. But you needed like, I don't know, 3 or 4 legendary potential. Yeah, to basically have the damage back and to get all the resistances back. Tunk is playing with Aurora's amulet. I don't have it on SSF, but this is basically a free death, which is pretty handy in arena. So I can also recommend this one, but then of course you have to manage your resistances again. So this is pretty easy to gear up. If you really want to like perfect your gear, then go for Aurora's or try to mix in some legendaries here. But this is basically the only one that you need. Pretty easy actually. Blessings, what do I have? I have the dodge one, I have mana. This one you don't need, you can go for lightning resistance, crit avoidance, endurance, physical resistance. That's pretty much it. Nothing too special actually. Yeah, that's pretty much it. I will also link the written build guide in the description. Maybe I missed something, so you can just read through it. And if you have any questions, just leave a comment below. Thank you, Tunk. Thank you guys for watching, and yeah, have fun with the build.